Hi all. My name is Kumar Bhardwaj. I'm from the Basalt Technology. I have the total around 7 years of functional testing and manual testing experience in the IT domain. Currently, I'm working on one of the IT working in Chennai. So I'm going to start with the about the software testing, about the more information, software testing and about manual testing. So my today agenda is that what is the software testing, and in the software testing we have manual and automation. So why the manual testing is important and why automation is important, and why we can choose the manual with the we have the lots of automation tools are there based upon that. So I'm going to explain about that and about some more information about on the testing sites. So just I'm starting with the in order to what is software testing. So first I want to know what is the software, because we are going to test the software itself. So software is nothing but it's a of set of programs that we are giving the computer to just execute, give the instruction to execute the set of programs what we are going to do. Just call it a software. And testing is the testing, we know that what is the normal meaning of testing, to just test the things. The same thing, that testing we can apply in the same software that we have written the code to perform some action. So that's about the software testing. But before that we can start why the software testing is important in the current media. We have the main question why the software testers are important, and why the in presence of dev, and why the dev can also do the testing, but why the software testers are required separately for any IT industry or any of the industry. So I'm just starting the brief information about the software testing. Is before the 15 or 20 years the testing not in that big range and not in the market, but from the last 15-20 years all the companies, all the IT and even all the industry are giving more importance to the testing, because we have something very bad experience with that. We know that in the 2003 the one flight get crashes in the Bloomberg. In that around 320 people get died. Why? The importance only because what the software they have implemented, they're not tested as simply gone to the live. So that is the one example. Due to that, then we had lost the 320 people. Second, we can get example about the banking. We have lots of banking frauds are happening. We have know that in the lots of bank fraud happening in India or outside the India, but we are not get to know. We can know why the reason of that. The most reason is that the softwares are not tested before going to the live, and that came to the loss of the money and loss of the things. So that's why from that previous experience the companies and all the things are thinking about the testings, and they're giving more important to the testing currently. If we take about in the entire industry, we have the 100% budget. In that, out of 40% of budget is allocated to the testing, because the importance of that. In the 60% all things are there, and 40% of budget in any industry we are allocating for the only to test the applications. So that about that. So currently I'm going to under the software testing we are going to explain about the manual. We can understand with the words manual. Man in the sense person can do the work manually. That's why we are given that words of manual. The man came to the existence, because for the manual testing definitely one person, physical existence of person should be there to test the application or test the software or test any kind of things. So that's why we come to manual. Under the manuals, or definitely why you are giving the importance to the manual, because before going to the automations we have to test the application. Simply we cannot go to the automation simply, because before that we need the applications. Because automations in the sense we have to provide some set of record, some set of data to perform the action. If definitely, and if the same set of action they are not matched with that, they are failing that. But before that manual testing we are performing the application to make sure our applications should be stable. Then only automation is possible. Make sure that they are accepting the correct number of data. We can ensure about we can able to go for the automation, because the regressions and lots of the smoke and sanity issues will come. So for this any kind of things, we are doing the manual testing first before going to the automations. And definitely automations also one requires one testers who can write the set of framework, who can write the set of codes, and then based upon the codes our script will run on the automations. But before that we have to prepare the test data, we have to check whether the same application is working fine, because automations we are using, if the, for the examples, if you have the login page, for the example we have the login page and we have to test this same login for the 100 number of users, definitely the 100 manual will take the time. But first time we have to check for the some number of record manually. Without checking that we cannot write the automation code. So that's why we are giving the more importance to manual. And definitely without manual we cannot do the automations. The first of the answers. And second, if you go in the right, all the industry like banking have the more craze in the right now in the market, banking, e-commerce, these all the things, they are more preferably to the manual. That's my personal experience, not it's my total experience. As per my seminars I am telling, confirm about in the manuals they are giving more priority to the banking sectors, insurance sectors, e-commerce sectors, because then only we can go to the automations. If you are working in the agile also, like first you have to test the application manually and then we can go to the automation. So that's about the manual, why this manual is so important. Without manuals we cannot go for the automations. Definitely automations cannot be possible all the times, because if my requirements are not feasible, for the example in the same of the sprint the client are changing the 5 times the requirement, then again the 5 times to change the code in the automation is very difficult, but 5 times we can check in the applications. Definitely if some issues came in the emergency type of time, definitely we have to live the product by tomorrow. At that time we cannot go for the automations to run the entire script. Definitely we can prefer the manual. Definitely it'll take the time, but it give the 100% perfect result based upon the automations. So that's why we are preferring manual over the automations. But definitely if we have the more number of times, we have the much times are there, then definitely we can make one resource and we can do the automations. So that about that. So under the manual testing is we have that key, we are going to agenda about the software test, about the SDLC. We have first explained about the SDLC and things. So we know SDLC stand for the software development life cycle. Like everything have some life cycle. The same thing software industry also have some set of life cycle that we are going to that. And under that life cycle, the testing is one of the phase in that we are going to explain about that correctly. So under the SDLC life cycle, so we have to go in like the first stage there. First stage go for the requirement analysis. First is the requirement analysis under the software development life cycle. So under this phase what we are doing, under the requirement analysis, like the BSA, like business analyst under the company can go to the client place, or client will come to the place of that, and they can freeze the requirement, what the requirement they have and what they want to develop from that. So under the requirement analysis, we are gathering the requirement from the client places, what are things are there. So that part we are doing the requirement, and the same that call is requirement. Under that we have that analysis part. We can call it requirement gathering here. Second part is analysis. So after when the BSA role had completed from the client side, then now the BSA will come to picture from our technical sides. So what BSA in that second phase, the roles of come for the BSA, business analyst, we can tell normals. The BSA role is there, what the requirement he will collect it from the client, or what the requirement they have given, they convert that requirement in that college business requirement specification, that BRS that he got from the client, he will convert the BRS into the FRS. FRS stand for the functional requirement specification. Why the need of the FRS is there? Because we are the technical tools, definitely we cannot understand what the BRS is there. They have the same discussion because the code and the technical people cannot understand the language what we'll get from the client. But definitely that is the role of the BSA. He can go to the depth and describe the things, and they convert the BRS into the FRS, and that FRS that is used by all technical peoples across our STLC life cycle. So that is the role of the analysis part. After the analysis, we come for the designing. So under the designing, based upon the FRS, we can design the architect will come to the picture here, and software architect will design the things. He can make the based upon the FRS. So first for designing, he can make the HLD. He can make the design like a high level design, that called as HLD, and then HLD will be broken into the form of LLD, that's called as a low level design. Because definitely after designing, the developer should have to work on the code. One developer cannot work on the entire application, so that's why we are breaking the HLD to the LLD to come to the more depth knowledge and each module things. So after that is the part of the architect, and based upon that the architecture get prepared in the architecture part, designing part, and then after the designing we have for the coding. So in the coding, what we have got the LLD from the designing part, that is the baseline for the developer here, and developer can be assigned for each of the modules, and they are start writing the code for that coding under the coding section. Under the coding life cycle agency, they start writing the code for the module that he assigned for that. So in this part the coding will complete, and then after the coding we come for the testing. So that is the testing we are going to explain in the more detail under the STLC life cycle. That's called as a software testing life cycle. In that we can only talk about the testing here, but currently I am giving the more brief information about the testing is that after the coding get performed, the testing we have to perform. Definitely the testing will come to picture like that. Again it comes the role of the manual tester, because manual tester is the first time he can get the code, he can write the test case for that code, because what the FRS get, the same FRS is the baseline document for the testers also. He can work on the based upon the FRS. Parallelly when they do the coding, he will write the test case, he will write the test scenario, and based upon test scenarios he will write the test case, and that test case we can send to the BSA for the approval with the peer review and approval process. So we can make sure if you get the acceptance from the BRS, and that we have written the correct coverage of the code, correct test cases, that we can execute in the things. So why these things which we are sending for the approval, the more important that at the latter point of time anyone cannot deny that this is not my requirement. So if the test cases are covered, so they can able to accept our things at the end of the stage. That's why we are sending for that, and same test case we can also send to the developer. So at least we have missed some cases, the developer can give the inputs, so we can proceed. So that about the testing we are doing. We are just writing the test cases, and based upon after writing test case, we are waiting for the code to do the testing. So that about and then after the testing we have the phase of the deployment. Phase of deployment. I will go to the more information about the testing once we complete the SDLC lifecycle. In the deployment, definitely the code have completed for all the things, and we can understand the testing is also completed. Then after testing is over, we are deploying the same code to the deployment. We are going to the live. So we are after completing in the testing part also, we are deploying the code to the live, and our code or our software will make the live for the client. So definitely deployment in the sense we have to come for the alpha alpha testing and beta testing you can perform here, and then definitely most upon that. So once the code is deployment, and we think that the deployment is over, in the sense we have deployed the same code and client is using our code without any issue. But definitely with the deployment parallelly, the another section is there as a last, as a maintenance. Maintenance means for the every software some maintenance is required. Just think about in the normal words why maintenance is required. Definitely if you are buying some product, we are asking for the warranty and guarantee about the products. At least if I face some problem in the time duration, at least we get a support from that, so we can maintain that. The same kind of things in the normal words we are doing the maintenance here. One kind of thing also there, like normally we are using the mobiles nowadays and all the OS and this all the things, that's also one of the software. Or definitely we cannot say that what we have deployed the code is a totally bug free. 100% bug free can never be possible in any of the software sectors. So definitely, but parallelly we are deployed the some of the, because we will get the live feedback. Why you deploy? We will get the live feedback from the people, those who are using my applications, and based upon the feedback we are working on that, and we are giving the code fix of that, and again we are testing and we are deploying that. So definitely that's kind of maintenance. So in the mobile or in the OS we are giving the versions of versions, like Nokia, earlier the Android 5 came, Android 6, Android 7, Android 8 Oreo, different kinds. So different time by time we are expanding the versions, because the some security patches, some more information, this because the market is totally dynamic, all the people are looking for the something new on that. So definitely if not something give the new or maintenance, definitely our application will not survive in the market for that. So that is more about the maintenance. So in this part we have explained about the SDLC, that complete about the life cycle, how any software test industry is working. It's not about the tester, it's not about the developer, entire all the companies, small to big, level 1 to level 5 or small, will work on the same life cycle model. Definitely now we'll come to that key SDLCs are there. That's it. Now we have come to SDLC model. Definitely in the SDLC, which model we are going to that? Under the SDLC we have some set of models are there. Know about waterfall model, second V model, third is spiral model, and most recent is called as agile. So that SDLC lifecycle will work on based upon the model. The model is depend upon that which company, which model they are working on, or which model they are suitable for that. So they are using that models. So but in normally waterfall, by the stands we can know waterfall. The water will fall from the top to down. That is the working of the waterfall model. So under the waterfall model, what the SDLC we have, requirement gathering, then analysis, that always come in the waterfall model. In the sense, after one step only we can do for second step. Means after requirement gathering, and then we can go for the analysis, then we can go for that go for designing. Just come for after completing the one steps. But we know that and will always go from the top to bottom, and that is the thing about the waterfall. I can tell you the experience why we can choose the waterfall, why we cannot choose the V model, what is the importance of spiral and agile. This all the things come into the later part of time. But now I am moving about the testing things. Come to here, in the testing, how we are testing the applications, and what is the minimum requirement, minimum knowledge to perform the testing by the software testers. So testing is only one of the tasks that's required the complete understanding of the product, complete understanding of the modules. Then only he can able to work on the testing. Without knowledge of the product, because the developer have the only knowledge about the particular modules that he working on it, but the testers is the only, he have to know from the top to bottom, from the start to the ending of the product. Then only we can perform the testing on any applications. So about the how we can testing the application under the software testing, we have the two types of testings we can perform: a static